So I clicked on this launch Cloudera Express. As a result of clicking on this one. That is only the first time. Observe friends very closely. I think Sunil, you might have done the same thing if I'm not wrong. You might have clicked this launch Cloudera Express.
Yes, Srinivas. Yes, that is the one which I used.
As a result, you might have noticed this kind of, I mean, a console might have started. I mean, a terminal might have started. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
whether you remember or not.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so this might have executed and the console might have disappeared. As a result, what happens? As a result, what happens? If I go to the browser now and I click on Hue, you get the message saying unable to connect.
Yeah, this is the error message I'm getting.
So in order to rectify this one, what needs to be done? I mean, you want to have a regular solution, that is one way, and a permanent solution the other way. We see both, but let us continue our discussion. As a part of that, I will explain you how we can achieve that even. You go to your Cloudera manager. Again, the username password is Cloudera and Cloudera. You look at all these things very clearly. You see all your Cloudera management service is running. That service is running, but all your services, what all you are seeing here, HDFS service, Hive service, Hue service, all these services are not running. As a result of that only, because there are two ways here basically. One is, please observe this one very closely friends. We are slowly entering into the true administration activities. We have set up the environment and we have got the access to these things, and here of course it is not required to you, but still to access certain commands, because not the UI all the times, to verify whether your Hadoop is working properly or not on your environment. Just type Hadoop and press enter. You should be able to see something like this. With Hadoop, you can use FS, that is a file system, the generic file system client, to access your files. I mean, navigate your file system. I'm talking about your distributed file system, not your local file system. You want to work with your local file system, probably you'll be doing like this, which is going to give you the access to your local file system. Because I told you very clearly, when we start the bundle, what happens? CentOS starts, and Hadoop services automatically starts if not been altered by the user. What do you mean by this? If not been altered by the user? What do you mean by this one? If not been altered by the user, what do you mean by that?
So that we are not changing any configuration of the
Absolutely,
servers.
absolutely, absolutely. So I advise friends, please respond to, so that the sessions will be more interactive. So if you don't make any changes, by default all the services will be up and running. So what do you mean by making changes? Making changes in these kind of bundles, not just nothing but you go to your launch Cloudera Express or launch Cloudera Enterprise. Express is going to be forever, but trial your enterprise is going to be a trial for 60 days. After that, that expires. I mean, this is all about your Cloudera manager, friends, not about the services running in your bundle. Services running in your bundle will be forever. They are free of cost. But it is only the Cloudera manager with which you are going to manage your cluster. So if it is Cloudera Express, it is free forever. If it is Cloudera Enterprise, that is Cloudera Manager Enterprise, then it is a 60 days trial. And after that, you need to go for the subscription. So when you see this a launch Cloudera Express, as been mentioned by me just before, all these are the things that happens, and as a result, you can see that here. Disabling CDH services on boot. I think you notice that message here. By what is that happening is, of course, you want, you can enable it at the later stage. That we do, that we see. I don't know whether you are aware of this or not again. /etc/init.d. If you go there and see, all these are the services that are usually being started on the startup according to the run levels that are being configured. Let me not go deeper into those details and confuse you more, but I just want to show you here your Flume agent, your HDFS related name node, secondary name node, data node, your yarn related node manager and your resource manager, and your HBase related, your Hive related, your Impala related, and your Uzi, and also your Scoop services and your Zookeeper server, all being kept inside your /etc/init.d. So these are going to start automatically at the time of your system boot up. What we are doing is, when you click on this launch Cloudera Express, you are altering that path. What is that happening? Disabling CDH services on boot. That is the reason why we need to go to this, and here you need to make your cluster to start. When you say start, watch this one very closely, friends. You'll get a lot of information. What is getting started first? When you are starting your cluster, please repeat. When you are starting your Hadoop cluster, what is that is getting started first? Let it be sudo cluster or anything. What is that is getting started first?
Zookeeper.
You understand? This is a service which makes your cluster highly available. We talk about Zookeeper a bit later. So Zookeeper is a service which is getting started. Upon the successful completion of that only, your HDFS service is getting started. Please watch this one closely. Then we also go to your Hue browser and see how you are able to get the Hue browser. Please watch this one for a minute, friends. You understand? I am starting, when I start my cluster, Zookeeper service been started, then HDFS service. You also can see closely, not only that one, when you expand this, you can see very clearly what services. You can see that one here. What is that? Name node been started, data node been started, secondary name node been started. We only see HDFS at the top, but internally you go and see, you'll be able to see those roles even very clearly. You can see what all been started. It's a good thing that you expand these and see. Successfully started 3 roles on service HDFS. What we mean by a role, we see in detail, don't worry. HDFS is the service. To that service, you can have roles. What roles been started here? Your name node role been started. Your secondary name node been started. Your data node been started. While starting, what is that been emitted, that you are also able to see here. So you see your HDFS service. As a part of HDFS service, 3 roles: data name node, data node, and secondary name node. 3 roles being started. Now let us go and see. Your HBase been started, your Solar been started, and then your yarn. And you see, as part of your yarn, you can see what, as part of your yarn service, what roles been started. You can see that here. What is been started? You can see that. You can see that very clearly here. As part of this one, what are the 2 roles been started? Node manager and job history server. You also can see here. So if you expand these things and start seeing them individually, you will be able to understand how things are getting started. Same, whatever you are seeing now here, during your CentOS startup, all these going to happen. The only difference is, instead of these services getting started automatically, now you made them manually by going to the Hadoop cluster. I mean, your Cloudera manager, you are starting them on your own. That's the only difference. No much difference at all. You also can make this to start on the startup by changing the configuration. That's not a problem. Let us see when all these services been started up. What is that one, Sunil, what is that one getting started at the last?
Hue browser.
Why Hue browser at the last?
Mm,
Why
Maybe
Hue?
that is the one
Yeah,
which will have all the what to say.
you are absolutely right. So Hue browser is the one. Hue browser is the one which is going to use all your previous services. It uses your HDFS service, your Yarn service, and your Uzi service, all those things, Hive, and all those things. That is the reason why it is going to start at the last. You can see that here. 3 services what been started. What been started? You can see that here. Your Uzi Impala and been started. And finally, your Hue been started, Hue server. Hue server, Hue server, you need to understand that one, friends. Hue server. So everything been done successfully. Now I think you noticed, dear friends, all came in green. You noticed that? You noticed that one here, friends?
Yes. Yeah.
You
Yes.
see, if they are in good health condition, you see in green. Concerning health, you see in orange. And bad health, you see in red color. By looking at the services, all these are the services I said. Each service internally will have roles. So you expand this one, you go to your hive and see why there is a concerning health, so that you will be able to understand. Oh, Metastore server is a concerning health. Oh, threshold 99.
So Srini, just one question.
Please, please.
So when I started my my Cloudera through this Express,
Yeah.
and when the Zookeeper started, as part of one of the services, it started to remove the snapshots. It is actually removing snapshots of different versions. Does it mean that I'm losing all the snapshots?
No, come out again. I didn't get you the point.
So when I started the services, the Zookeeper service, as part of the Zookeeper service, it started removing the snapshots. So it removed like probably a lot of snapshot files.
Snapshot files that are being maintained by the Zookeeper or by the name node.
It looks like it says Zookeeper / zkserver.sh. That was the thing that started.
No problem, no problem.
And then it said removing a file, and then it's giving me all the snapshot files.
Can you please send me the parts of the snapshot files what getting removed?
Yeah.
You can put me in the text so that I can look at them and.
Okay.
So you see all your services, what all there as part of your order a bundle, all you notice all those here. Any health related issues or configuration related issues, all you'll be noticing here. And very next to this one, you also see the charts. How the cluster CPU is being used, the cluster level. The cluster level disk IO, cluster level network IO, and your HDFS IO. Okay, okay. 1 second. So removing varlib zookeeper version snapshot. Oh, these are being maintained by zookeeper. No issue for that one. Because zookeeper is the one with which you are going to achieve the high availability of the services running as part of your cluster. So it maintains its own snapshots. It maintains its own snapshots, Arun.
So this is not the data snapshots. These are the
Exactly,
Zookeeper's
exactly.
version.
So those
Okay.
snapshots will be there as part of your name node. I'm going to show you even the file system image where it is been maintained and all. Um, /user/lab/Hadoop. You see here, Arun, you notice that one, Arun, here?
Yeah, so this is the directory where the snapshot is taken.
You see this one, Arun, yeah, exactly. FS image,
Okay.
and you also see along with this FS image, you have got something called edit. Because
Yeah.
every change you are making to the file system will not be immediately integrated with your file system image. They are being recorded as part of your edits. Over a period of time, all these edits will be merged into your file system image. So this one,
So does it actually take a snapshot of the entire file system, or does it just take the changes on the file system from the prior snapshot?
no, it only takes the changes, Arun.
Okay,
What
okay,
all the
okay.
changes you are making? That is why you have two types of files here. Your file system image file, that is FS image, and you have edits files also. So whatever the changes you are making to your file system, any change that is being made will not be directly integrated into your FS image. They are all being captured as part of your edits, and then over a period of time they are being integrated into your FS image. You want, I can give you share the theoretical stuff that is associated with this one, and how these are being, how frequently these are being merged to get your file system image, and how frequently that is being updated as part of your. You also see here, not only this one, you also has got, what is that, name, name secondary and data also here. So this being a pseudo cluster, all these are being present on the same, otherwise these are going to be on different nodes. You notice that here. You noticed here, which is very similar to your name node only. Arun.
Yeah, I see it.
So same like even with your data also you have.
So when it takes a snapshot, where does it store that FS image and the edits? Does it store it on the name node or on the data node?
No, come out again.
The FS image and the edits, those snapshots, where is it stored? Is it stored on the name node or on the data nodes?
No. It will be on the name node only.
On the name. So if I lose the name node, then I lose the snapshots also.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is the reason why we are maintaining the secondary name node. Something goes wrong. Maybe for a small hardware failure, if the name node is down, that is fine, acceptable. You can make your server up and your cluster is back. For some reason your hard drive has got burnt, or it got corrupted or something like, then you will be losing your entire cluster, right? Not to happen that only you have your secondary.
So the snapshot taken on the primary name node is also replicated to the secondary name node.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that frequency, that interval and all is again configurable. You see here, this all the, what is this one I am showing you? This is all about your data node, Darren. Because this being a pseudo cluster, you have only
Okay.
one data node, you are able to see even the file system are associated, but you don't have anything called FS image and all here. It is all the blocks. That is where it is showing you. I don't know whether you are following this or not, but you see closely here. It is the block portions, not your file system image. That is going to be maintained by your name node. Here you will be having only the block details and all. So this all is related to your file system image, which is being maintained or managed by your name node, and a replica of that is being maintained by your secondary name node, right? So coming back to this discussion, now your concerning health issues also got resolved. I think you understand the point
Srinivas,
now.
one question. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So when you are saying hardware failure or some other issues, if name node goes down, we have secondary name node so that we can get the name node up and running using the secondary name node. So the same thing can happen to secondary name node also, right? I mean, if something goes wrong and if that is corrupted, so once we rectify and bring back the secondary node, will the snapshots, whatever so far taken, will be again stored in a secondary node or no?
No, it is something like this, I say. See, well, of course, we are not using this name node, secondary name node concept anymore. But still, as we need to pass through that phase, we are discussing all these things. So what happens is, periodically your name node file system image is replicated in the secondary name node. As mentioned by you, for any reason if the name node is down, okay, so the hard disk of the name node got corrupted or something like, definite human intervention is needed there. I mean, in the absence of your name node, the secondary name node will not come into picture automatically. I mean, if you take your server cluster, like Apache Tomcat or something like, where we have a farm of servers, if one server is busy, it is been routed to the second one. Or if one server instance is down, the other instances are running, they take care of rendering the requests. That is not the case with your name node and secondary name node. For any reason, if the name node is down, the cluster is down, and human intervention is needed, I need to physically run the commands and construct my name node back and copy this entire file system image from my secondary name node into my name node. Then only my cluster is going to be back. It is not like automatic switching. When the name node is down, automatically the secondary name node will be up and running and start rendering the services. That is not the case. So you need to do all these things. As an admin, you need to copy this file system image and get it. And to answer your question very precisely, the small delta that is being, when the hard drive of your name node is about to be corrupted, there is a small delta, change in the file system, which is there as a part of your edits log. Even edits log files are also same point of time being replicated on the secondary name node. I think I've already shown you that one. It is not just FS image that is getting copied, even edits log what is happening, that also is being preserved on your secondary name node. The merges between the edits log and the FS image on the name node, and the merges between the FS image and the edit logs on the secondary name node, fully configurable as per your expectation. But we go with the default value so that it is going to give you the amicable results. But the small, very small, minute delta, when the data is about to go to your secondary name node, exactly that point of time, something went wrong, that small delta is being lost. That cannot be avoided. You're getting my point, what I'm saying here?
Yes.
But other than that, that is the reason why. That is the reason why when engineers started thinking for the alternative solutions, how we can make your name node high available. If I can make my name node itself highly available, 99.99% if I can make it available, I need not worry about my secondary name node constructing my name node back from the secondary name node and all. That is all with the advent of your zookeeper. Don't worry, we have a discussion, separate discussion on that high availability concept as part of the administration. We talk that time, but for now you can ensure, yes, you can make your cluster highly available with your zookeeper. I think that is the reason why when I have shown you the zookeeper service has been started first, then only your HDFS service has started, and all the other services started. Notice that one.
Yes.
So now your hue is going to start very comfortably. No problem at all. You can see that here. Earlier you got the error message. Now there is no error message at all. So you don't have any error. You are able to comfortably go there. But the thing is, when I shut down this and start once again, then I again need to go to my Cloudera manager and make my cluster services to start manually from my end. I think you observed what I'm trying to share here. If you don't do that one, if you don't bypass that auto startup of your services on the booting of your CentOS, it will happen as usual like. But what we did now, we started this. As a result, it is disabling your CDH services on boot. Again, you want, you can make the CDH services to start on boot. That can be done. But by enabling your Cloudera Express, you are taking the control. As an admin, you are taking the control and trying to manage all the services. But as a developer, you don't, because this bundle is to both developer and admin. It is not only to the developer, it is also to the admin. So to make this bundle useful to both, as a developer, you want to use this one, you need not touch that. You happily work with your services. On boot, all the CDH services starts automatically. You get your things done. But as an admin, you want to use this. You bypass auto startup of all the services on the startup of your CentOS. You can keep all those things in your control. Whatever you want, that one you can start. The other things you can control. You don't need the other services. You can keep them on hold. I think you noticed here your Cloudera management service and your Hive service also now working properly. All in the green color. You need to make sure all the services are up and running and are visible to you in the green color, indicating that the health condition is good. It's clear? Make sense, friends?
Yeah, makes sense. One question. How did you resolve the health concern for the Hive
No,
server?
I didn't do anything. Here I didn't do anything. I think you remember the same thing I said a number of times as part of our discussion. When you start any services, make sure that you don't do anything for a minute or two. Then all the associated things that are required for that service are also going to start up so that they automatically run properly. But if there is any concerning health, after everything been started successfully, then we can go to the service and check what is the issue, and accordingly we can resolve it. But now I didn't do anything. You
Okay, got
noticed
it.
I didn't do anything. It automatically came. Even when you're starting your bundle, that is what I said. The moment you get your UI I mean here, this one if you get, the moment you get this one, immediately you open your terminal and start doing something, you may not be able to get the access to few services. Your CentOS might have been started, but all the CDH services that are needed in the background, they might not have started properly. That is why give a minute or two so that all your CDH services will start properly. You will not face any challenge. Say something is happening, you go to the Hive. When you see, it is going to show you the history also, the health history. At this time, there was a concerning health. What was the reason for that one? That also you can see. What was the reason for that one? You can go and watch. What is the concerning health that time? Why it happened? You have the log available for everything. The Hive Metastore kernel failed for an unknown reason. That is the reason why it went. That is the reason why it went to the concerning health state. Then it automatically it might have rechecked that one. When that is available, it came in the good condition. So to make all these configurations available, you select your service, as I told you even in the last session, I think I remember. This may not be the right thing. It is always good that you go to the command line and see there what scripts you have and all. Usually the true admins will prefer that one, but as it is an error prone while working with your XML files, nothing wrong that you go to your configurations here. This is all about your HDFS. So that is the one which we need to discuss first before talking about any other service as part of your Zookeeper service. And your HDFS block size on this one is, you notice dear friends, dfs.block.size is a property. To that we need to specify the value. When you make any change here, directly or indirectly you are making the change in the XML file that I have shown you before. You are going to make the changes at that level. Following with me, friends?
Yes.
I think I have shown you here. Yes. HDFS-site.xml file. It is showing you the replication is, you notice that one here, friends? What is the block size? 128 MB. 128 into 1024 into 1024. One 28 into 1024 into 1024. You notice the value here is 128 MB, and here it is showing you this one. Both are the same, right? DFS block size 134217728 is the value in bytes about your block size, whatever the value you give here. That is the reason why at your UI level it is showing you what is the byte, whether it is you are giving the configuration in bytes or megabytes or kilobytes or gigabytes. So we are given 128 MB, the block size for your cluster. And what are the compression codecs that your cluster is allowing? Even those also been mentioned here. You can see the same thing even as part of that here. Compression codecs. Compression codecs. Core-site.xml. You see the compression codecs. Yes. What are the compression codecs that your cluster is, and those visible to you here. So all the configurations that you see for a particular service that is running on your cluster, you select that service, you can go to the configurations and make the changes to that. Each service can be managed individually, or you can manage the entire cluster. What all the services that you have added as part of this cluster, you want all those things to start and get stopped. That can be done by you. Or individually we can go to each service and make that to start or stop, or work with it individually. You can always do that one. And this is Cloudera management service, what I'm showing you. This is the one which is actually getting all, you can see here, as part of this Cloudera management service, we have alert publisher, event server, host monitor, service monitor, and all these are actually collecting the metrics from each service that is running on your cluster, and as a result it is giving you the overall picture. If the Cloudera management service is stopped, then you will not be able to see all these metrics what you are seeing as part of this UI. Charts, that is cluster disk IO, your HDFS IO, your cluster network IO, CPU, how the utilization is happening. You will not be able to see this one. Your Cloudera management service is the one which is doing all that stuff for you. Make sense, friends? This is the overview of your Cloudera management through your Cloudera Express. Okay, which usually happen where the services going to start automatically on the boot process of your bundle. But when you bypass that, this is how you are going to start your services. Okay, as we need to start with HDFS, let us go and work with some of the aspects of your HDFS. Any questions to me, friends, on what we discussed till now?
So Srini, I started all the services, so it said successfully started. But then when I actually look at the health, it says Cloudera management service is not currently available for execution. So when I see the status of all the services, then it shows in yellow color.
Wait for a minute, Arun. You'll be able to see that service also will be up and running. It will come out
Okay.
of the health. It should come. It should come out of, even you noticed the same is with my environment even. Hive and the Cloudera management service both are in the concerning health. I don't know whether you noticed or not.
To the point what Arun mentioned,
Yeah,
even it happened to me, Srinivas. So initially, I mean, I waited for a long time, and I can see all the services are in green. And once it is there, I started Hue browser and came back to Cloudera Manager. Again, all the services went to health concern.
There are multiple reasons. There are multiple reasons. That is why I'm showing you this one. Java heap size of name node in bytes is recommended to be at least 1 GB for every million HDFS blocks. The suggested minimum value is this one. See, your services need to run with minimal resources. The very basic, the quantity of the resources required to make your services run properly, irrespective of what you're doing on the cluster. You're getting the point. So when it is not happening, definitely there will be concerns raised. There will be concerns raised. That is what you are seeing here. The configuration issues, which makes the concerning health to your respective services. Service HDFS has one data node Cloudera suggests at least 3 data nodes for HDFS. What it indicates? I think you noticed. You noticed that is what I said. You will be having a cluster with a minimal 5 nodes. One to your the Cloudera manager to run, and the other one for your masters like your name node and your resource manager and all that stuff, and 3 for your data nodes. At least on the data nodes will be one data node will be using to maintain our secondary name node, because name node and secondary name node exist on the same makes no sense. So name node should be on one and the secondary name node should be on the other. So one of the data node I may be using to make my secondary name node to run, but still that's not professional. But minimum of 5 nodes required. But how many nodes are there here? Only one, because everything is present on the same. Minimum 3 data nodes required, because I don't know whether you have seen that property or not here. The replication factor is 1. You see here. DFS.replication is set to be 1. You cannot make more than one on a pseudo cluster for the reason there exists only one data node here, not multiple data nodes. So these makes some of the configuration issues, but towards the concerning health, we come to know clearly only when we go to that service and see. Can you please tell me, after going to Cloudera Manager, Sunil, what is the issue?
I mean, it said all the services are in health concern, but right now I'm still restarting that. I'll let you know in few minutes.
Yeah. Don't restart the cluster services only to make sure that all should be in the green color. Go to the respective and you will be able to see what was the issue, whether it is auto rectifiable or we need to take some measures to rectify that one, we come to know.
No, actually, I didn't start the virtual machine yet.
Actually,
So I just started it.
No issue. Arun, if your
Yeah, Srini.
if your environment is up and running, can you please tell me in the Cloudera management service what was the issue?
Yeah, so what happened is it said all the services started successfully. Okay, so I went to Cloudera Manager, and on my left side where it lists all the services, they were all in amber color. Okay, so what I did, I actually went to HDFS to see the health status, and there again, like you said, everything is amber color, which I understand because there is only one data node, and it said so the services never went to green, though it said started successfully. The services are never green. Only Spark is the only service that is in green.
So all the services are in gray color, something like that?
Yeah, they're all in that yellow color.
Yellow color.
Yeah, Spark is the only service that is in green.
Okay. So all the remaining services are in the concerning health.
Yes.
So if that is the case, we need to go to health issues and see what is making their health concern. Is it because of resource constraint, or there is any misconfiguration with because all these services depend on the common service like Zookeeper and all these things. If there is any problem at that level, then all the services are being impacted. Now you see, you notice here,
Yeah.
all the health issues.
Yeah, Zookeeper it said. Yeah, Zookeeper it said successfully started, no issues.
So, but Zookeeper health is concerned state.
Yes, yes. In the Cloudera Manager, when I see it, it is in it's in amber color.
So, if you go to that Zookeeper, we come to know what is the issue for that. I mean, configuration issue will be there for Zookeeper for the reason you can see that here. what is the configuration issue, that we can leave it, no problem, because the warning that we get with the Zookeeper, they advise us to have a band of Zookeeper instances running, not just one. That is a configuration issue, no issue for that one. But you see, it was bad, and in a minute it automatically been rectified and came. So there I am asking you, what is the issue? What is the message that you are seeing? In the concern health issue.
Okay, and in the Zookeeper health, I say server health, it says healthy server 0, percentage healthy or concerning 100%, warning threshold 99%, Zookeeper canary test of client connection to Zookeeper execution succeeded.
But that is a health history you are saying, right?
Yeah, status. So it says, yeah, health history I'm seeing. Zookeeper canary is good, and then again it went bad, again it became good, and then it went disabled.
No, this is the issue only with your pseudo cluster. Why the services automatically go down and up? Because you start working with your bundle. You start working with your bundle because the resources that you are giving to the bundle, from that only all the services are utilizing. But on a fully distributed mode, that is not the case. I'm going to show you on a fully distributed mode how it is going to be. How it is going to be that each service we are going to set up on an individual machine, and we give sufficient resources. And very rare we meet the threshold limit, so there will not be any issue with your services running in terms of the resources. But when it comes to the pseudo cluster, this is going to be a regular phenomena that you are seeing all in green now. I start working with some, maybe I issue some commands, and I start moving the files, and I start working with the services. All of a sudden they become concerning health, because the resource constraint, again they come back to good state. This is a quite natural phenomena on your pseudo cluster, but not on your fully distributed mode.
Okay, got it.
You got the point?
So it's basically a resource problem. If I had more resources, then maybe
Absolutely,
all services will work.
because
Okay.
you see, I mean, I don't know whether you have that, you got that clarity or not. All these services, whatever you are seeing here, are Java programs running in the background. Every Java program needs its own JVM. Every Java program needs its own JVM to run. You want your name node to run, you want your all these services need to run, because all these are actually been developed in Java only. When these services are running, each requires a JVM. And you know very well, I don't know whether you have noticed this or not, just to make you to understand, this is the only way that I can show it to you. That is the reason why I am doing it. Give me a minute. This is a basic program, basic Java program. I want to save this on my work. Probably here I create something called Java, and I save this one with the name, demo.java. I go to my terminal. Java C demo.java. If everything is fine, I should see a .class file, Java demo. We see so quickly and all, but if you observe closely, you see just to run this small file called demo to have one print line statement, imagine how many classes are being loaded into your JVM. And in the beginning, you should notice a message, opened this one, loaded, 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 and all it is saying, before your actual class gets loaded, what is your actual class? Your actual class is a demo. You see here, loaded your demo class from this path. After loading that, it is been executed, and finally you see shutdown is happening. When there is a shutdown, you also need to understand there is a startup for the JVM. So JVM will have its own life cycle, that is JVM start or startup, executes or run till we need, or program finishes the execution, finally it gets shut down. If you look into this one closely, this is exactly like your operating system, but it is not been the generic operating system, it is a specific operating system. Because in your operating system, you can make different varieties of programs to run. But inside this operating system, we can run only Java programs. That is why sometimes I call this JVM as Java OS. I call the same JVM as Java OS. Inside this OS, we can run only Java programs. It works exactly like your OS only. It works exactly like your normal machine. But as we cannot see and sense like a normal machine, we are calling this as a virtual machine. As only Java can run inside that virtual machine, we call this as a Java virtual machine. That is how that name came. Now, why I am saying all these things? Each service requires its own instance of JVM running. I cannot make multiple programs to run inside the same JVM. That is not possible. So when each service needs its own JVM to run in the background, to have your service up and running fruitfully, I need not tell you how much resources are going to be consumed. And more specifically, these JVMs are going to be started with very minimal memory, and will be given a threshold because we have that provision actually here. We start the JVM like that only. For services, we will not run the programs like this. Java, and we said demo here. We will not do like this. Java, you see here the options that we have, -x EMS. I'm going to set the initial heap size, and I can set the maximum heap size. So beyond that, what happens slowly, the Java virtual machine faces the challenges and starts malfunctioning. Over a period of time, it gets terminated abnormally. So your services also will get affected. Arun, are you able to visualize why there is an impact on your services in the background related to your resource constraint, and why your services
Yes.
automatically goes down? If it is a case of your fully distributed mode, we have a clear understanding why it went down. But on a pseudo cluster, why this frequently happens is for this reason. All these being the virtual machines running in the background, which consume the resources. As a result of that, the services will go into the concerning health, and will automatically come back when the resources are being released. And it also depends upon what activity you are performing. Say for example, you are running multiple Hadoop jobs on your cluster. That time, as it also consumes more resources, it is going to show the impact on the performance of the services already running on your cluster. Make sense, Arun?
Yes, it does.
So a small program, Java program that I have shown you now, in order to make that to run, how many classes been loaded inside the VM? So imagine for your other services like name node, secondary name node and all, how many libraries it needs and how many classes been. Of course, all those will be small, very small in size. They will not be in gigs. They will be in MBs only max. But still, that is that consumes the resources. When that constraint arises, automatically these services will be impacted. Right? So this is what that needs to be observed when you're working with. So coming back to our discussion, Hadoop commands. So here you have a FS, that is a file system commands. Though it is not needed, but nothing wrong that you learn some basics of file system commands to navigate within your HDFS. So all are similar to your, you can see that here, Hadoop FS hyphen. All these are the commands which are very similar to your Linux commands. No much difference. You notice that here. All these are very similar to your Linux commands. You have something called ls. You want to know how these can be used. You can specify Hadoop FS hyphen help and I give ls. It is going to give me how this ls command can be used. You specify Hadoop FS and hyphen help and give the command name. It is going to give you how this command can be used. You want to even see the demo of this command. You can specify hyphen demo and you give ls. It is going to show you how this, now usage, not demo, it is usage. How this Hadoop command can be used, it is giving you an example here. So I advise you friends to please go through this and in order to go through this one you need not break your head to go here and there. You go to your hadoop.apache.org. There you go to your learn about. Here you have a file system shell. You see, I think you noticed here friends. Append to file, cat, checksum, group and all these things. Every command is been explained in detail here. So I advise you to go through this documentation and start using this. Some of those commands you'll be using now. Hadoop FS-ls at the root level. There is a reason why I'm showing you this one. There is a concrete reason why I'm showing you this. What do you understand from these two commands, friends? What do you understand by executing these two commands?
Hadoop FS minus L, I mean ls root is Hadoop file system and ls is the local file system.
Absolutely.
Ls root.
So fs-ls root, this is giving me the root of my Hadoop distributed file system. But interesting, on this node, both your local file system and distributed file system coexist. Your local file system is attached to your kernel, what you are seeing. At root level, we have bin, dev, etc. All these at the root level of your CentOS box. And this is at your root level of your HDFS. So both are different. And you need to understand here friends, what you are seeing at your HDFS level is not visible at your CentOS level. Notice that one friends here. please make sure that you see the difference between these two. Your FS-LS can recognize only distributed file system. Your LS can recognize only the file system attached to its kernel, that is your CentOS file system. So its root and its contents are different from the root of your HDFS and its contents. Let us not have any confusion between these two. But only thing is, both exist on the same machine. You see, under root you have here, under root you have these things. You don't have, there may be a temp here and there may be a temp there. But what you have inside temp, ls-l/tmp. This is what you have under temp. But Hadoop fs-ls/tmp, you have a different thing under that temp. Maybe it follows the same structure, the same file system aspects, but both are different. The structure is going to be same because all these are developed based on Unix background only. So it absorbs the concept from Unix file system and Unix operating system. So you have a root there, you have a root here. Under root you have a different file system there and you have a different file system here. But both on the same. You need to see the difference. Now you want to copy any file from the local file system to your HDFS, or you want to remove anything, you can see that here. I created something called sandbox. Maybe under TMP, I want to create something for our discussion. Hadoop fs-mkdir/tmp/ I say tb admin, techibis admin Azure is a directory I am creating. So you notice that a directory has been created now. You see that here under TMP, along with the 5 paths. Now you got TB admin also, which is created now. Now I have something called Hadoop fs-copy from local work/datasets/Mary, and I want that to be see now a freshly created directory. Into the directory I'm copying a file from local file system, and now I go here and see /tmp/tb admin. You'll be seeing the list of the files present inside that. You see the Mary file being copied. If you remove this one, Hadoop fs -rm skip trash /tmp/tb admin/Mary. So the script trash option is the one with which you are going to permanently delete that file, because usually when you delete a file it goes to the trash. You want to skip that trash, then you can use this one that makes your file to be permanently deleted. Suppose you delete the files and those been sent to trash. You want the trash to be empty. Hadoop fs-expunge. If I execute this command, then my trash also going to be emptied. How you do your see here what it is saying? Observe. You noticed, friends? You notice what has happened? So you look closely into this one, you understand Hadoop FS hyphen RM hyphen R slash TMP slash TB admin. What has been done? Your TB hyphen admin is sent to trash. Is sent to trash. So you can work with your file system with your HDFS commands like ls and your copy from local. You have move from local, and you have copy to local, move to local. You have chmod, ch1, ch group, and you have tail. So you have different commands, but the list is not very exhaustive like your Linux commands, confined list, which are essential for our Hadoop interactivity. So please work with that one so that you'll be able to understand how you can navigate your file system using your Hadoop file system commands. Right? This is one thing. The other thing, Hadoop DFS admin. Sorry. Maybe some typo. So you see here, these are the administrative commands. Of course, file system commands is only to make you to understand how you navigate the file system. As an admin, we may not need those things. But as an admin, you definitely need how you work with your this one. Hadoop DFS admin, out of which I'm going to show you one very good. See here, by default, when your service is going to start, let it get. Safe mode is off, it is telling you. By default, when your services starts, your name node will be in the safe mode till everything is up and running. Because when you start your cluster, if your name node is not completely ready and you start doing your file system changes, then who is going to track those changes? Is going to be a confusing thing. One way the service is up and running, other way it is not able to track the changes that you are making to your file system, then it leads to ambiguity. Not to happen, what it will do is, it will by default your name node will be in the safe mode till all the services are up and running and clearly available. Then it will automatically come out of the safe mode. So by default, when the cluster starts, your name node will enter into safe mode and will come out of that safe mode once all services are up and running and readily available for your access. For any reason, if your name node is not coming out of the safe mode, you always can bring that back by saying leave. You can take your name node into safe mode by using the option called enter. I hope you are getting the point here, friends, what I am sharing. Same thing, I go to my HDFS. One second. You see here, For the other nodes, you will not be having this one. See, you can make this to enter into safe mode by using the option here. The impact will be the same whether you are doing it from the terminal, I mean the command line here, Hadoop DFS admin hyphen safe mode enter. If I use the option called enter, you are making your name node to enter into safe mode. So you want to resist the changes to your file system for some reason, and you want the server not to be accessible for time being for your own reason. As an admin, you can bring your name node into safe mode and do your things and bring back your name node from the safe mode or bring out of the safe mode. Then it will start accepting all the file system changes that you are making to your cluster. So I advise you to put an eye on this Hadoop DFS admin. DFS admin. It has got multiple options that you are seeing here. Just keep an eye. I'm not asking you to work with everything, but if you go through this one, you understand what we mean by set quota, clear quota, what do you mean by refresh nodes, role edits, save namespace, report, and you also has got shutdown data node, get the data node info. So all these are the commands with which you are able to manage your cluster as an admin. Same thing can also be done with your UI actions, but you also need to know how you work with your command mode. I am asking you to just go through it so that I start using them as part of the sessions. Then it should not be a faint thing you all of a sudden, oh, what is this? But at least if you go through that one, you understand, oh, this command is there. I may not be aware how to use it one, but this command is there already as part of DFS admin, right? So please go through that one also, friends, so that it makes more sense. Any questions to me, friends? Any questions to me for now?
No, nothing for the time being.
Mani, Vijay, Anne?
I don't have any questions related to the currently what we discussed, but earlier we were discussing, right? What is the error message I am getting on the I mean health concern?
Mm.
So I have 4 health issues. What happened is I just clicked on Cloud Error Manager, restarted everything. All the services are in green. I waited long time, and after that I started my Hue browser. I just logged in. And once it is logged in, the services automatically, all of the services went into orange, and I have 4 health issues.
Okay. So can I know what the health issue is specifically?
One is with HBase. It says HBase Master Health, and the other one is HDFS
Definitely the
Nominate.
resource constraint. Definitely the resource constraint, because that is the reason why. Because HBase and all you don't need, right, Sunil? So you can do one thing, instead of you starting the entire cluster, let you start only the needed services. Try it out in that way. You will be seeing a lot of difference between starting your specific services and starting your entire cluster. Because HBase and all consumes a lot of resources. Believe me,
Okay.
here, till now, any of these things went down concerning health. It is
No.
almost for more than an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
All are in green. I have dedicated 13 GB memory to this instance. 13 GB.
Okay.
I think you notice that here. If you go to that is already running here. When I shut down, I'll be able to show you that. So here I've dedicated 13 GB of memory and 4 CPU cores to this one. That is the reason why you don't have health related issues. But when there is a resource constraint, it always reflects on the health issues part.
Okay, got it.
Right. So wonderful, friends. Please go ahead working with this one. Probably in the next session, we'll talk more in detail about the roles and responsibilities uh, of each service, what roles will be there under service, and how those roles needs to be managed by you. All those things we see in detail. But to make yourself more comfortable, I don't say that you need to be extraordinary Linux programmer or Linux, you need to be extremely strong with Linux commands, but reasonably good. Because it may not be possible from my end to discuss about the Linux commands in detail. So I advise you to go through some Linux commands so that, I mean, especially related to the administration, which we may not be directly using it every time, but you have a lot of connectivity there. And apart from that, what the pseudo cluster that is been set up on your box, you try to work, I mean, because in your development part, we are not going to see much when it comes to the discussion. Nothing wrong, something goes worst, you may be thrashing this entire bundle, you extract the zip file again and you create a fresh bundle. You'll not be having more damage than that. But make sure when you're making some changes, you make it logically rather than following some blindly some instruction or some book. Right? So work with this one.